Hello, this is Maya Andreasen, and in this lesson we are going to talk about how to import our Substance Painter textures into Maya and applying them specifically to Renderman Shader. So here we have our box that we have seen in previous lessons. I have already set up lights in the scene. I set up a Pixar dome light, which is an HDRI dome using image-based lighting, and a simple 3-point light system as well, so that we can really see what's going on in our scene once we apply our shaders. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my hypershade, which looks like this little martini olive icon up here. You can also find it through the menu, going under Windows. Let's minimize it so you can see it. Going under Windows, Rendering Editors, Hypershade. All right, let's open this back up again. So we're going to go to the Create menu, and we're going to click on Renderman. And we're going to use a Pixar Disney node. I've noticed with the 22.5 version of Renderman that the textures from Substance, both Substance Painter and Substance Designer, tend to load more properly through the Pixar Disney node as opposed to the Pixar Surface node, at least for now. It'll probably change up again to be back so that both nodes work well in version 23 of Renderman. But for right now, we're using the Pixar Disney node. So I'm going to change the name. I'm just going to have it Pixar Diz as our prefix, and then we're going to call this box matte for material. All right. So now that we have that, we can minimize it. And well, before we do that, let's select it because we want to work in our attribute editor. Now, we do have access to the property editor and a lot of attributes here, but I find that sometimes things update a little bit better and a little bit easier over in the attribute editor. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to actually apply the Pixar Disney node to our box. I'm going to right mouse press, assign existing material, Pixar Diz box matte. So we're going to apply that right now. And let's see, come on. Should be applied, there it is. So it finally updated, it was taking its time, but now it's updated and it is applied to the box. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to apply our base color to the diffuse map for our texture from Painter to the base color node. So we're going to click this checkerboard icon, go to File, and click on the File folder. And let's see, we just exported box textures in the previous lesson. So now we can select our base color and open. Now, if you want to preview this, you should be able to click the little R here, which should allow you to see what the texture looks like on your object, okay? If it's not working, it might just be taking a while to update. And as you can see, it is now updated. So now we can see that we do indeed have our texture applied. Let's try for our bump. Now, normally, you need to apply the following. Normally, under Renderman, you need to apply a PXRN, a Pixar normal map node. And that is kind of the in-between between your normal map and your actual normal and the render node. But I noticed that I didn't have to do that last time. So let's just see. Let's just try to apply to our bump normal. Let's get rid of this. A file. And we're going to go here. And we're going to look to our normal PNG and open it up. And let's turn this off and turn it back on again. And as you can see, it actually loaded up just fine. All of our information for our box loaded up. And as you can see, we can see all those details that we had on our high poly box. And they're loading up now on this low poly box. So let's turn this off so that we can actually rotate this easily. Other thing we can do is we can rotate our light source. So that's the dome light. We can also rotate our 3-point lights so we can see more of what's going on. So, yeah, so we actually have all of this high poly information and it is showing up just fine. All right, so the next thing that we want to do, let's turn this off, select our box, and go to Pixar Disney. The next thing that we want to do is we're going to go to our metallic channel and we're going to click on the checkerboard icon for that and go to File. And we're going to load up our metallic channel. So metallic is right here. And then we are going to go to our roughness channel, which is right here. Go to File. Load up roughness. It's at the bottom here. And let's do a preview. There we go. So now we're seeing things. Yeah, it's pretty shiny. All right, so we still have our emissive that we need to load up. So let's go back here and go to emit color. Now, the emissive channel, we could just load up our emissive map, but there's another way we can do this. We can actually load up a multiply divide node to our emit color channel, and what we can do is then multiply the emissive map so that we get a better glow. So I'm going to look for multiply divide. It's not showing up. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my hypershade. And let's look at all the nodes that are attached to this now. We have quite a number of them. Let's move this node up here. This is our color node. I'm going to move that up here. And then we're going to hit Tab and type in multiply for multiply divide and click our multiply divide node. So now we have our multiply divide node. And we want this to go into our emit channel. So we want, let's see if we can get the output here. All right. And then it might be. And then what we want for input 2 is our file. So let's create a file. So let's go to Maya here and look for our file. Actually, let's hit the tab and click File, File Texture. Here we have our file. And our file, its out color is going to go into the input 1 of our multiply divide node. And make sure your multiply divide node is on multiply. All right, so now the file, we are going to go to File folder here, and we're going to find our emissive channel, and we're going to open that. So let's make this a little bit smaller, because we're going to have to, actually let's just minimize it, because we have it over here. And let's see what this looks like. See if everything is showing up the way it should. Well, needs to update. Here we go. All right, there it is. So we have our glow. Right now, our multiply divide channel is set 1 to 1 to 1. So we could increase it. So let's increase it 5 to 5 to 5 and see what happens. Oh, look at that. It actually turned yellow. So this is actually increasing in brightness when you up the input 2. So we can do 2 to 2 to 2. And now we have this much brighter phthalo green color. So you have a better way to kind of finesse your emission and the actual glow if you use a multiply divide node. Whereas if I just plugged the emissive channel, the emissive texture into the emissive channel, it would only ever stay at the 1:1:1. Like the color that I exported as, that's the color that you get. All right, that is how you import your textures into Maya, into the Pixar Disney node. Now let's take a look at the Pixar, the other node, which is the Pixar Surface node. And let's see if we do get different results. Because you can use the Pixar Surface node, and typically it is a better node. It gives you a little bit more flexibility to do things. So we are going to name that node. And we're going to call it Pixar S underscore box map. So we'll have these two different nodes. And let's go through as to how we would attach things to that node instead. So here's that node right here. And let's go through those things. So first off, let's turn this off. To attach the diffuse map, that's going to go through this color channel here. So I'm going to click the checkerboard icon for color and click File. And we will find our base color, PNG, and we're going to open that. And then we're going to go back. For primary specular, we are going to load up our metallic onto our face color. We can also go to physical, so we can have it through specular, Fresnel mode, physical, or artistic. So we're just going to go through face color here, go through file, and load up our metallic, PNG. For roughness, we're going to click our checkerboard icon, file, and we're going to find our roughness channel, which is here. All right, and let's apply this. So I'm going to right mouse press, assign to existing material, and we're going to do Pixar S box. So now this is applied. So let's see what we have so far. So this is what we have so far. We don't yet have, as you can see, it's a lot lighter. We do not yet have our bump attached. So the bump channel is going to be under diffuse. And as you can see, it's under bump. Now here, I really do think we're going to need our Pixar normal, but let's try to just straight up attach it and see what happens. Straight up attach the texture. So we're going to find our normal. Here it is. And we're going to click. And let's see if it updates. Let me turn this off and turn this back on again. So this is not updated. And indeed, we do need that kind of in between. So let's take a look at this. Also, everything has just file names. Let's open this up so we can see everything. All right. Where is our bump? Ooh. So this is a way that you can see all the channels that we have. So here's our specular channels. They're way down here. And here is our diffuse bump normal. So there it is. So I'm actually going to rename this file, if I can. Let's go over here. File 10. We're going to call this normal file 10. And that way, we're going to know that this is where our normal map is. All right, so we need to create a new map. So we're going to look for Pixar N for normal map. And we're going to bring it over here. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to attach this. Oops, I don't know. We'll middle mouse drag it. We'll put it over here. We're going to middle mouse drag it into, it helps if this is twirled down. We're going to middle mouse drag it here. So now it is now attached. And now we can do our out color into our Pixar normal map. So our file name is going to go here. Have to find it. All right, here it is. Normal TIFF. There we go. All right, so I think we can delete that. So now this is mapped. And let's see. Okay, so we are getting something. All right, so it's showing up a little bit. So this is one of the issues that I ran into previously with Renderman 22.5, where there was an issue uploading the normal. I don't have that issue with the Pixar Disney node, but I do have that issue with, as you can see, our Pixar Surface node. So let's go here to my bump scale, and we can up it, see if it'll show up a little bit more. Let's try 3. All right, so the more that we up it, the more that we're starting to see the normals. It looks like it only goes up to 2. I think I could try a higher number. It's not gonna go up anymore, but we're seeing a little bit of the details by upping it a little bit more. Let's see. Also, bump overlay. If I up the bump overlay, I'm starting to see a few more details as well. Let's see if we can get a few more. So I would just experiment and play around with those. All right, let's look at the emissive channel now. So let's go back here. So the emissive channel is going to be in a slightly different place for the Pixar Surface node. So we're going to have to go to the glow here. Now, if you want to add your emissive, you would add it to your color channel, and then you would up the gain to see it. So see, as you up the gain, you up the glow. Now, what we can do is, instead of putting our color straight there, we can do that multiply divide node again. So we could always do this, or what we can do is we can go back to our hyper shade, and we can find our glow. So our glow is down here, so the glow color and code gain. And so we're going to go tab, and we're going to go multiply divide. And we're going to put our multiply divide into our glow gain. And we're going to try to. It's not going to let me. So let's go back here. Go back to our glow. Yeah, let's go to the color. All right, glow color. All right, so now that we have that glow color, we can now attach a file. So tab, file, texture file, and our texture is going to be our emissive channel. So it's the emissive PNG. And we're going to do our out color into input 1. And then we are going to go back to our shader and up our color gain because we want to actually see this. And let's see. All right. There we go. So we upped our color gain, and now we can see this. So now what we want to do is go to our multiply divide node and play around with these settings. So let's try 4, 4, 4. And as you can see, we get the same result we did previously, where we can really, like, with the gain at 1, it looks like this. It's just that regular green. But when we up the numerical values here, we get a stronger glow through that multiply divide node. So this is how you can apply your textures from substance to both the Pixar Surface Shader Node and the Pixar Disney. As you can see, there's some very different results. I recommend right now using the Pixar Disney node. As you can see, you get a closer version of your textures and how they looked in substance to what they look like in Maya. And lastly, let's go here. I didn't show you one thing, the height map. So I didn't really have a height map, which is why I haven't shown it. But let's go back to the Pixar Disney node so that you guys, at the very least, will know where to attach your height map. The height map goes into the displacement field. The displacement field is only found in the outputs. So right now, these are all inputs right here, and this is the output. So if I click the output of my Pixar Disney node, you'll see a displacement matte option here. And you can click the checkerboard icon and pull in the file for your height map, and that's where it would go. All right, till next time, bye-bye.